So they've finally dropped the information about Season 13, showcasing some very juicy internal build B-roll footage and talked a little more in depth about what's to come. And boy oh boy, this update is going to be fire. Fire. Because it's Flameheart, so it has fire. So we all know the basics right now. Well, actually, some of you probably don't. But Season 13 finally gives us Flameheart fanboys what we want: the resurrection and reveal of the man himself, Captain Flameheart. In this new update, his extra shiny, straight out of the warehouse burning blade will be a new world event within the game. The players will have the option to either defeat the ship or pledge loyalty to it and take it for themselves. Doing so sets you up on a task to visit skeleton excavation camps around the world, which have revealed ancient temples which hold a new loot item known as the Orb of Secrets, something that Flameheart really wants, which players taking part in the Burning Blade event will have to complete, whilst fending off the entire server. But these skeleton camps can also be ransacked by anyone, even if you're not in control of the Burning Blade. These areas appear to be an expansion to the puzzle vaults we have seen many times in Tall Tales and the Gold Hoarder quests, an unlock system using star constellations to get your hands on the loot. These areas look far more expansive than anything we've seen before regarding puzzle vaults, so I'm really looking forward to what gameplay curve they deliver, and of course, what kind of lore can be found within them. Sinking the Burning Blade, whether a player is in control of it or it's just the NPCs having a laugh, will gift the players with the Sword of Souls, which was chained to Tasha's nipple rings and was obviously ripped off by a skeleton dressed as a parrot. That's the actual lore, I'm not even joking, look it up. And this will be the very first cursed melee weapon in Sea of Thieves. It can be picked up like an Ashen Wind Skull or a Mermaid Staff, but instead of range combat, it will be close quarters. It will operate just like a regular sword, giving you all the same actions and movements, but will also cause fire damage with each hit. But just like the Ashen Wind Skull, this item can also be sold for delicious gold. It will also be the very first interactable weapon in Sea of Thieves that allows the player to sprint, and there are also talks about allowing players to also sprint with other small loot items that aren't really worth as much, such as tall tale items, low price trinkets, etc. I think that's been a massive request for a very long time, so that's great to hear. But it means anyone holding the Sword of Souls not only has a very dangerous weapon at their disposal, but can also move at the same speed as everyone else, and sword lunge away from danger to race to hand in. It also means that if the player holding the weapon wants to switch to a gun, they'll have to drop the sword on the floor in order to switch to their regular armory setup. So I can see some really interesting gameplay scenarios coming from this. But let's be completely honest here. None of that will matter if the player with the sword has the Ashen Winds cosmetics, because you know for a fact that they'll be running with it. The Burning Blade looks massive. We get a good look at its hull here, and as you can see, there appears to be two areas to access various decks on the ship, which is going to make defending the ship somewhat harder than what we are used to. But with these obsidian skeletons, Flameheart's most loyal crew members, it won't be hard to root out where the players are. Speaking on that, however, an update coming to the game ready for Season 13 will be the ability to hide from NPCs in Sea of Thieves. If you can lose sight of NPCs pursuing you and then activate a hide emote such as the barrel tuck, the NPCs will stop chasing, which means actual stealth mechanics can be put into play in Season 13, not just with the Burning Blade, but other scenarios too. And yes, if someone drops a bone caller when you're already hiding, the skeletons will no longer find the hiding player, until they move, of course. Moving on to the vaults themselves, as you can see, they look drastically different from what was showcased in the preview event. We also appear to get a Wish.com version of the Descent into Reaper's hideout to access them, which I already know is going to make for some hilarious clips with kegs involved, and what appears to be a very cinematic puzzle experience once they are underway. I am a little concerned though at the pacing of this. The last thing I want to be concentrating on is a puzzle minigame whilst 4 other ships are above the surface pummeling the Burning Blade. I imagine this is going to be very stressful in some circumstances, but with the Burning Blade having its own AI crew, maybe them alone can fend off people as you try to sort this part out. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. It all honestly looks really good, and I'm very excited for Season 13. My only hopes is the server stability is going to be somewhat improved since what we've been seeing in Season 12, and we can have smooth sailing, quite literally, and less less of the janky headaches we've been experiencing for the past 2 or 3 years. I've taken a 2-week break recently to sort out a few important life affairs, but now I'm back on the content train, and we'll be throwing you all the news and info when it comes out. So be sure to hit that thumbie button and drop a sub. It doesn't cost you anything. Flameheart swag.
Whoa, clear out the room, I'm coming through, they wanna see what I'm about.
Are you fed up with your top-of-the-range console? Or your top-of-the-range gaming PC? Are your frames in Minesweeper causing you a headache? Then worry no more, my little chums. The wonderful people over at Apex Gaming PCs are just what you need to put a smile on your face. The perfect place to craft and build your PC for those of us who don't have the foggiest. Look at little Timmy here. He just got his Apex Gaming PC and he's very happy.
I'm very happy.
Use code Falcore at checkout and save yourself some cash. All links are down below.
I killed DeMarco.